Hi there and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to start to discuss about a very important topic. The topic is do not waste a crisis. What is this crisis we are talking about? I want you to reflect back to your life in the last 1.5 years. When COVID started, the whole world was hit with a certain crisis. And this has affected everybody's life, families, friends, colleagues, even yourself who is watching this. I want you to reflect back. What are you doing about the crisis? But before we go ahead, let's listen to this. Welcome back. Do not waste a crisis. What do you understand by the word crisis? If you check in a dictionary, you'll see the word crisis means a time of intense difficulty or danger. Yes, it's not been easy since March last year, and so many people are having so much difficulty in many ways, health-wise, financially, crisis within families, and so on and so forth. There's also intense danger. People are losing their loved ones. People are taking care of the sick. You have a relative who was never falling sick, but all of a sudden they have COVID-19. And it's kind of a crisis. Yes, it is a crisis in the world. However, my advice is that you need to sit back and check not just COVID-19, but all other crises that have happened in your life. I would want to ask you to reflect back to even 5 years ago. You are faced by so many situations that can be described as a time of intense difficulty or danger. So it's not just COVID-19. How have you been dealing with it? If you check in the world, there are two categories of people. Those who are not affected or infected by COVID-19 or by, they are, the two categories are, one group is wallowing in pain and in depression, despair. There's another group that has looked at this crisis and said, so long as I'm alive, so long as I have children to feed, so long as I must live on, then I have to find ways of dealing with this situation. And that is what I want us to discuss today. Yes, the crisis is here with us, but what are you doing about it? Are you just going out there, listening to your friends, complaining, whining, wallowing, and trying to cover up the problem maybe through drugs or drinking or even having some aggressive, nasty discussions? Or are you stepping back and taking your pen and paper and saying, okay, this is the situation. We must accept it as it is. What can I do for myself? What can I do for my loved ones? What can I do for my family? And if you take that pen and paper in a small room where there's no distraction, with silence, and write down what is this that I can change, then you are in a better position than that person who is complaining out there. So my advice today is this. Think about pivoting. Think about finding a new way of handling the situation without it getting into you. It is bad, we accept, and it can easily get into you, or perhaps it has gotten into you, you're feeling depressed and like giving up, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. My advice is that just look back and say, there's something that I can do about it. I remember one former PS called Bitange Demo in Kenya who said, even if he lost his job in government, he will still feed his family and he can do anything. Just Google him and you'll see he said He can even drive a matatu. A matatu is a taxi, these big taxis that, carry a lot of, passengers. And he said he can do anything. But he was a personal secretary, a very senior person in government. He actually went ahead and even became a lecturer in the university. And I want you to have such a flexible and agile mind that looks outside the box and discovers new ways of doing it. Even if you may feel weak at the moment, you may feel you don't have energy, you may feel you have tried so many things and they're failing. In fact, that's what I've been seeing in social media, people saying, what business do you start? I've started 3 businesses since last year and nothing is working. You might be feeling discouraged, but I'm telling you, you need to still continue looking for ways of making it. The other thing I want you to think about is when there is a crisis is when most entrepreneurs buy stocks at the securities exchange. Why do they do that? Because the share value of most companies, that's the time they go down, but they go out of the way to buy. But a coward who is not a proper entrepreneur, they start selling when the share value goes down and they lose money. So I want you to think about that entrepreneur. What is this that you can invest in with a vision that in future it will reward you? Yeah? I'm not saying that you go out there and start renting an office and start opening an office. What is this that you can do even from the house where you stay? Yeah? So I want you to just look at the top 3 items or top 3 things that you can do. And the way to go about it is to reflect back into your past. What were you passionate about? What is this that you could do without even being paid and you were able to do when you were young? What is this that you were congratulated on when you're in primary school? Just go back to when you were 15 years old, plus or minus 5 years, and think about something unique that you could do, because we are all unique beings in this world, and there's something special about us. There's something unique about us that we can offer the world. Once you identify what that is, then think about how can I make money with it? The other day someone talked to me and told me, you're telling us about, monetizing our, gifts. I love to read books. Is there anything I can do by reading books? And there is a lot you can do by reading books. What if you are proofreading books for people who are publishing? One example, right? So there's a lot you can do by what you like doing. There's a lot you can do about it. So therefore, once you write down top 3 things that you can do, top 3 things that you're passionate about, you can also look at your current situation. What is it that makes you unhappy in an office or amongst your relatives or amongst your friends? Something that makes you unhappy when they're doing it. Yeah? Because if it makes you uncomfortable, that means you know something better than they do. Because what they are doing is something that makes you uncomfortable. So what is that you can build as a business from that uncomfortable situation? So my words today is, do not waste this crisis. This is a time to think out of the box, because where there is a crisis, there are lots of opportunities. So there will never be this kind of opportunities that we have today as we are, because people are already building foundation for their businesses or for their future, while you sit there and complain and keep complaining. So my advice today is, sit back and build the new you. You are a special, unique being, and you have something special that you can build and offer the world and make money. And even the most satisfaction is not money, it's actually that satisfaction of making somebody feel better and improve their livelihood. Just build it and build your own personal life and feel better. Thanks for listening in, and before you go, click that button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Also click the other button, the bell, so that you can be reminded when I upload new videos. Thanks for listening and have a lovely day. Goodbye.